77% of global consumers plan to maintain or increase their international travel plans in 2025. That's according to American Express. For those heading abroad, there are hidden costs that could take a big bite out of your budget. Joining me now with some tips to save your wallet this summer, we've got Daniel Green. He is the co-founder and chief technology officer at Faye Travel Insurance. Good to have you here with us. What are some of those hidden costs that consumers might not think about when traveling abroad?
Absolutely. So every time you use your credit card or a debit card when you're abroad, you're often hit with a fee that you don't notice called a cross-border fee. That can be as much as 1% of the transaction. When you're traveling on a budget, that can really take a bite out of your spending.
And so how can consumers avoid those foreign exchange fees as well that you could incur?
So you can't always get away from the fees entirely, but there are a number of banks that will offer free ATM transactions abroad, and it's always worth talking to your bank or doing your research. There are a lot of them around. Some of them will even refund you. So if you get hit by a hidden fee, you can show them the statement, they'll give you the money back. And that can save you a lot when you're traveling if you want to work with cash.
So what are some of the do's and don'ts for if you run out of cash when you're abroad?
So firstly, it's always a good idea to have a few US dollars on you, keep them stashed either in your suitcase or a money belt. It's a good backup, and most countries, people will always take it, at least at hotels. You should use local ATMs. Don't try and get the foreign currency abroad. It's usually cheaper to get it in the country. And at the end of the day, cash will always be king if you're wanting to save a few dollars in most countries.
What is the rule of thumb? As you mentioned ATMs, I got to ask, what is the rule of thumb for when it is a correct or safe ATM to use abroad versus one that might seem a little sketchy?
You're always better off going to an ATM that's associated with a bank. It's better to go during the day. It's better to go in public areas. Usually, if you're in the middle of a very tourist area and you see a little old ATM just outside of a corner store, those are the ones you should avoid, and definitely avoid the ones at the airport. They will always charge you extra fees.
So what are some of the top destinations where Americans can get the most value for their dollar right now?
So right now, people should really consider staying in the US, traveling domestically, not hitting any of these fees that we're talking about, and enjoying places like the great outdoors. But the US dollar is going pretty strong, and some of the best ways to do it is to travel, just not go to the main destinations. So go to Mexico where the exchange rate is strong. Instead of Cancun, maybe go to Cabo. Go to Portugal, go to Porto instead of Lisbon. The wine is great. It's a day trip to the main cities, and your dollar goes much further, where the euro is about 90 euro cents right now. And if you really want to go abroad, one of the best places in Asia right now is Vietnam. Plus, the added bonus, there's almost no direct flights, so you get to have a free layover somewhere in Asia as well.
All right. What are some tips to stay in budget then for any vacation?
So it's really important to try and agree and decide on the budget before you leave. It's much easier to be strong and make good decisions before the trip started than when you're standing at the counter and thinking, I really want one more souvenir. If you're paying with things like Apple Pay or Google Pay, you'll usually get real-time updates on your phone as to how much you've spent along the way, or check in with your bank app. Just as we said at the beginning, sometimes you're hit by hidden fees, and it's a good idea to keep track of how you're going. Don't look at the end of the trip. Actually look at some point in the middle. Pack light. You can always buy more clothes or do laundry. And if you are going to go to destinations, consider going to a ski resort in summer. You'll save a fortune. It's still beautiful. Off-peak times can be really powerful.
Daniel Green, thanks so much for taking the time here with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.